Welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm Gary, and this is Not David. So it's Friday. It's about 7:20 right now. Doing a reading with Not David today. Real David just has other things going on tonight. So it's me and Not David and you folks. I hope you're having a good weekend. I have to admit I was a little down most of the day. We did a reading earlier about Trump's taking over the National Guard from Gavin Newsom, basically federalizing the California National Guard. And then it went to the appeals court, and the appeals court ruled against the federal district court judge's decision that it was an overreach by Trump. And so now Gavin Newsom has a decision to make, whether to try and escalate this up to the Supreme Court, or to try and get another, a broader group of judges from the District Court of Appeals. There's some process where you can appeal to the District Court, and basically all of the judges vote whether the case, whether to take the case to a larger group of people. And he could get the three same judges. They lost 3-0 on that. It was a unanimous decision that Trump was within his rights to federalize the troops, federalize the National Guard. So not great news because now you've got this judge's ruling out there, or the appellate court's overruling of the judge's ruling. So, Trump can now use this in other states. So Michael Popak did a nice blurb on that. So if you want to learn more on it, check it out. Check out his YouTube video on it. But what I wanted to read on was Trump has decided that now is a good time to call out a special prosecutor to investigate the 2020 election. Trump has just never given up on the thought that somehow the 2020 election was stolen from him. And he was quoted as saying, Biden was grossly incompetent and the 2020 election was a total fraud. He must have done that on True Social because there's caps. Social media post. The evidence is massive and overwhelming. A special prosecutor must be appointed. This cannot be allowed to happen again in the United States of America. Let the work begin. Okay, so now he's okay with special prosecutors. He sure wasn't okay with it when it came down to the documents case, right? But when it comes to attacking Joe Biden, gung-ho as all get-go, right? And, this is, his second run at Biden. The first was he wanted to do an investigation into Biden's actions as president, saying that his cabinet was covering up for his cognitive disabilities, right? His cognitive decline. It's very interesting because, anyone that watches this channel understands how much Trump projects. So he wants to do an investigation to Biden to investigate whether his aides are hiding cognitive decline and whether there was election fraud in the presidential election. Yeah. You know what? I'm all for it. As long as they do the same investigation in the 2024 election and the cognitive decline of the current president. So why don't we do both? And that way we could put all those issues to rest. You know what? I would sign up for that. If that's what you want to do, fine. You put yourself under the same scrutiny as Biden, and we'll see how you hold up, Trump. That's how I feel. Anyways, so let's throw some cards on this and see where it's going for entertainment purposes only. What a day. Okay, so let's look at the energy around Trump's wanting to assign a special prosecutor. The Department of Justice has not commented on this. So is this a distraction? Because that's what Biden says. This investigation is just a distraction. So what do we know? What's the energy around this? Sorrow. Okay, so 5 of Cups. Sorrow, disappointment. Trump is still pissed off that he lost 2020. Being a loser is like the worst thing that can happen to you in his mind. Losing that election, he lost his shit. That hit his ego in a place so hard and so sensitive, he can't take it. He will never, ever, ever let it go. It doesn't matter what he's got, it's what he didn't get. Challenge is the hangman. This is kind of either not being happy in the position you're in or just looking at things from a different perspective. This could be your projection card. Looking at things from a different perspective. It's like, oh, Biden must have cheated if he beat me. Well, there's a lot of people think that you might have cheated, and that's the only reason why you beat Kamala Harris. The energy underneath it, the magician, Trump is just trying to make something out of nothing. He's this is for his ego. He's going to try and couch it that, you got to make sure there's legitimate and fair elections in the United States. And we all agree with that. But we probably disagree on which election needs to be investigated. And so he's trying to make something, trying to get that old Trump magic working there. In the past, you got the Eight of Swords. He lost the election. He was trying his damnedest to wriggle his way out of it and come up with all these crazy theories on why Biden won, none of which involved that maybe people just liked him better than you. Current energy is the Eight of Cups. It's like the Five of Cups. You know what? Stop worrying about what you don't have and worry about what you got. But, for the rest of us, just walk away. Just ignore it. This is something that should just frankly be ignored. Overarching energy is the Empress. There's a lot of good things in this country right now. We can be very prosperous. We can be very helpful. We need to take care of each other. But instead, what are we doing? We're investigating Biden because our 8-year-old president has a fragile little man-baby ego. The lesson to be learned is temperance. Get over your bad self. Take your medicine. Everything's fine. You are president again. Lord help us. But, instead of focusing on the future and what's ahead, he's focused on the past. And the lesson here is, you know what? Just relax. Get your emotions under control and lead. What's the outcome? Page of Pentacles. To me, this is kind of like worshiping the vote or worshiping the grift, trying to take a new run at this. This is probably what I think this is it's just he's going to take another run at a new idea on how this was stolen from him. So let's hire a special prosecutor to investigate my theory. That's kind of what I'm getting from that. It's so frustrating. This has had me depressed all day. There's so much crap going on. Every time I get a little bit of hope that maybe we're coming around, someone lets me down, whether it's a judge's ruling or an appellate court ruling over it or Congress not standing up for the average American. It's just like we keep losing. Trump keeps gaining his little victories, and I understand that. I guess this has to happen for the tide to turn, but boy, it really sucks having to go through it, and then watching the morons with the red hats cheer it all on like it's great news. I guess I need to take heart, because I was feeling the same way about Trump's parade and how he basically turned the Army's 250th birthday into his own birthday parade march. And then what happened? They had kind of really depressing weather and a really depressing parade, like the worst parade ever. And so, we got a little bit of, just desserts from that. See, that's what you get. But it's really hard. The lead up to it is just so disappointing that I can't believe they're going to go through with it. And it turns out to be this big dud. And maybe that's the same thing with this, with trying to investigate Biden. They tried for 2 years to impeach him, and they couldn't pull up anything on the guy. A lifetime politician, they couldn't find anything that he did wrong. All right, so let's do a little side-by-side here. We're going to do left side will be Biden, the right side will be Trump. is, will they find anything on Biden? And is this Trump just projecting? Okay, so let's just do this. Okay. Will they find anything on Biden? I guess the question should be, will they find anything on Biden? Will they find anything on Trump, right? All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, on the left is Biden. Will they find anything on Biden with this special prosecutor? Okay, there's the Empress. You know, you really should be worrying about other things. You're taking care of the people in the United States. Because right now, there's a lot of people that are very anxious about this big, beautiful budget and getting rid of immigrants and defunding government agencies. You know, in the past, so that's your main clarifier why you should be working on the people. You've had people looking at this, collaborating, trying to figure out, was Biden's health being helped by, being covered up by other people in the cabinet? Where there are secret talks to get him votes. And the King of Swords, there's going to be a harsh truth to this. What I'll have to ask what the harsh truth is. The energy underneath it is King of Pentacles. This is just, this is kind of, I don't know if the King of Pentacles is just like a vanity project for Trump, or you know what, the bottom line is Biden did a lot of good things. He brought a lot of value and positive things, and you're just not happy about it. I'm going to do a clarifier on the King of Swords. What's the King of Swords? What is the harsh truth about Biden? Okay, you got the Five of Pentacles being left out, mystery and confusions, and Six of Swords. I guess I should stopped on the moon. Okay, so what's the inconvenient truth, the harsh truth? Biden was definitely helping people who have been on the outside. Whether it's sexual orientation, it's young people and their student loans. He was hampered a lot by the establishment, but he did his best to help people. The Moon card. Yeah, maybe his cognitive skills were not as sharp as they used to be. Maybe there are secrets that will come to light. But at the end of the day, he's moved on. You should just, what the card's basically saying is, move on from this. There's nothing here that is going to help anyone. Not even your fragile little male ego. Okay, so now let's look at the energy around Trump. What will we learn about this from Trump? The lesson here, you got temperance. So that was the lesson to be learned. You need to balance things out. Maybe this is his drug cocktail. Lots of drinking here. Focusing more on relationships and working with partnerships. You need to keep your emotions under control because you're running the government. And you're just living in the past. So I think what we're getting here on Trump is, on both of these, is basically move on. Get over your bad self and just move on. The stuff that you might be able to dig up on Biden, it's going to be a whole lot of nothing. Yeah, the guy's 80 years old. He's not as sharp as he was when he was 50. All right? It happens. None of us is as sharp as we were 30 years ago. Okay? It's just one of those things. And Trump's not as sharp as he was 30 years ago. I mean, it's ridiculous. Okay. So let's see. Let's do one more pivot on this. Since we're talking about election fraud, we did a reading earlier on Anonymous, and they were going to come out at the end of the month. So we're like T-minus 10 days and counting. Dave and I will probably do one more reading on this, just dedicate on it. But what's the energy around Anonymous? Are we going to see something in about 10 days? What do we need to know about this? I'm going to give one more shuffle. I just feel like we need to do one more. What do we need to know about Anonymous? In 10 days, they're supposed to release information. What are we going to find out? Are we going to find out a whole lot of nothing? Or are they going to come out with something? As you can see, my shuffling skills are just as sharp as ever, right? Okay, we got the Fool card. We're beyond a new journey, or we're just a bunch of fools for believing it. High Priestess, intelligence, wisdom, ask the right questions, get the right answers, also Keeper of Secrets. Okay, these are very interesting cards. 2 major arcana. 8 of Cups, don't emotionally walking away. Just walk away from the emotion. Just leave it alone. A new action being taken. And once again, the 5 of Pentacles, people being left out in the cold. Okay. I guess I can go 2 ways. I mean, tarot's kind of that way. So let's see how it goes. Okay, so are we going to see something in 10 days or so? We're going to be on a new journey. It's like we're going down a different path, a new path. And there are secrets and truths to find out on that path. Actions will need to be taken, or actions will start to be taken as a result. And there are people that are going to be very emotionally upset by what happens. And there are people that are going to be excluded, or not part of the collective, if you will. They're going to be outside, and they're not going to be happy about the situation that they're feeling to be in. Okay, that's kind of a positive side of it. Negative side is we're acting like fools, believing that something's going to arrive. There may be some secrets out there, but they're not going to be revealed. We should just walk away from this and find something else to do, because we're just going to be disappointed over and over again. That's the current energy. So we'll see what Anonymous delivers. It's going to land right about the same time Trump makes a decision on whether to use bunker buster bombs on Iran to try and annihilate their nuclear program. That's really got me depressed too. It's just, there's not a lot of positive, upbeat stuff. I'm so sorry. Usually I try and find something that I can spin good. Maybe we'll do a Trump health reading and just see when the old guy is going to kick off there, right? My luck, I'll get cards saying he's going to be around forever. Lord help us all. But I just want to thank you all for sticking with me on this one. It's a tough day. I can't always give you rainbows and ponies on my readings. Sometimes the readings are the readings, and we just understand that I'm not always right, and energy changes daily. So thank you so much for watching. If you like these videos, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe and hit the bell. We'll wake you up at midnight. Hey, we just hit 30,000 subscribers. Woohoo! I really, from my heart, thank you so much. That is such a mind-bogglingly big number. When we first started this channel, if you would have told me that within 13 months of starting the channel, we'd have 30,000 viewers, I would have said you were nuts. But yet here we are. So thank you so much. I'm glad that you enjoyed these videos. Some obviously you enjoy more than others. So hopefully you'll like this one, even though it's not a happy, uplifting one. But thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Leave a comment. I read them all. I respond to many. And unlike those bargain basement twin tarot with Gary and David, whose mom trolls them incessantly, but I have to give my mom some thanks, because with her burner accounts, hopefully she subscribed and helped us get over 30,000, right? So thanks, Mom. So some shout outs. Tennessee Chin, thank you, Tennessee Chin. Tennessee Chin made a very kind contribution to the channel. Yay! Let's celebrate with Tennessee Chin. 4 of Wands. Let's see. Jane Vanet wants to see pictures of us when we're little. I got to put those up on the community page. We'll do that. Maybe we're gonna probably do a live in about a week or two. So maybe we'll put them up as the thumbnail for the live. That'd be kind of fun. Jackie wants to wish everyone a happy summer solstice, and it's going to be her 21st wedding anniversary. Well, it's today, which is Friday. So happy anniversary. 21st wedding anniversary. Hey, you get the same card. I guess I got to shuffle this. 4 of Wands for you too. Congratulations, Jackie. I told Jackie in the comments that Laura and I are just 3 months behind her. So good for you. And then Terry 10 says, I want to give a shout out to our mom. Yay! Thank you, Terry. Hi, Mom. I know you're not watching, but in case you are, hi, Mom. And David said that I'm your favorite son. He really said that. No, not really. Thank you, Terry. Really appreciate it. And let's see. And then a final shout out and thank you. Oh, 2 more. Sandy Greenleaf, who has given me a recipe for half a cup of Clamato and a pint of beer in a 22-ounce glass, and she calls it red beer. So thank you, Sandy. I really appreciate it. Although, you know, if I am going to mix beer, I usually mix it with lemonade or grapefruit juice, and it's called a Rodler, and they serve those at the Oktoberfest, so you kind of pace yourself to get through the whole day. But you get the 9 of Pentacles because you're clearly a woman of high fashion and taste. And then we're going to wrap it up with, let's see, Rebecca Edenfield, who made a kind contribution to the channel. Thank you, Rebecca. Dave and I truly appreciate that. And once again, the 4 of Wands. Clearly, I need to shuffle this deck better. And a card for the rest of us, and I'm making sure it's not going to be the 4 of Wands again, although it would be ironic if it was. For the rest of us, we get the 2 of Wands. We got to look out to the future. Take actions that benefit you in the future. Right now, it's a tough time. It really, truly is. And it's really hard when you know what's going on is wrong and just not in the path of love and harmony, and you're watching people around you rejoice in punching down and causing pain and suffering to others and being happy about it. It makes you wonder how bad their lives have been, or this gives them joy, right? So hang in there, be strong. We'll get through it. Maybe we'll get some good news tomorrow. Anyways, thank you all so much. Have a great night. Take care. Bye. Double secret card. This is really the end. I won't do any more harm. Take care, folks. Bye.